Hello all, welcome to the Network Pentesting course on Pentester Academy. Now in this video, we will continue with pentesting routers and we will look at how to use other tools like Metasploit, Snmpcheck and Onesixtyone to do SNMP audits. So let's quickly check our Vyatta configuration. So let me log in and type in a show configuration. And as we can clearly see, the SNMP community string from the last video is still set to A1D2 with authorization read only, right? Fantastic. Now, Onesixtyone is an interesting tool which can actually go ahead and also do SNMP brute force, and you can provide it a list of hosts as well as a list of community names to try. So let's quickly see how this tool works. Let's go into our Kali instance, Onesixtyone, and of course most of you have already figured out that Onesixtyone is nothing but port 161 on which SNMP runs. So let me actually use crunch to create a passphrase of size 4 minimum, 4 maximum using AD 1 and 2. Put this into SNMP community strings. And then we use Onesixtyone with -c, SNMP community string, and we can just give the host directly. We don't have a whole subnet on which we are trying. 101 is the IP address of the Vyatta instance, and we can clearly see within a very short duration it's already uncovered that A1D2 is a possible community string, right? Fantastic. Now Onesixtyone is also one of the tools you should keep in mind and in your arsenal, because we've seen bunch of times that some tools might work in some scenarios and some might not. So the more you know, the better. And of course, once you understand the concepts, it's easy to even debug what is happening or what is going wrong in the background. Now, one of my other favorite tools is Snmpcheck. Now, Snmpcheck is a post-exploitation tool. And once you have uncovered either a read-only or a read-write SNMP community string, you can use Snmpcheck to go ahead and dump all of the SNMP configuration information. So let's go in, clear the screen. Snmpcheck is also installed, and all we have to do is give it the SNMP community string A1D2, give it the IP address, and there we go. Oops, the IP address needs to be prefixed with -t is the option. And as you can see, a lot of data has been dumped. You have mount points, you have a list of packages which seem to be installed on the remote system. Right? You have listening UDP ports, listening TCP ports, routing information, network interfaces, list of processes running, and a bunch of other information, right? So Snmpcheck again is a lightweight tool which you can use in your arsenal when you already are in the post-exploitation phase. Fantastic. Now, no discussion is complete without our hot favorite Metasploit, and let's jump right in. Now Metasploit basically has all of the SNMP scanning modules available under auxiliary, and of course some of them are specific to systems like AIX, Cisco, etc. The ones here in between are of interest to us. Now we've already looked at SNMP_login. As far as SNMP_enum shares and enum users is concerned, this only comes in handy if basically the device in question supports these two. So if we had a Windows machine on which an SNMP client was really running, and the SNMP client had gone ahead and collected all of this information and was also providing it via a server interface, then we would be able to fetch all of this info. So you can try this by installing SNMP on Windows. I'll leave that to you. Let's look at SNMP-enum. Let's do a show options. So the first is to set the community string. Let me use a set G so that I don't have to keep setting this again for the next demo. A1D2. And remember, A1D2 is what is there in our Vyatta configuration, right? Which we brute forced in previous videos. So remember to set this to whatever you had set in your config. Then you have set our hosts to 192.168.1.101. And I think we can just hit a run. And as you can see, we again get a ton of information which we could use, right? Pretty much the same information in most cases with, probably some changes in the formatting and stuff like that. But it does the same job, right? Fetches as much info as possible using SNMP. Now in the post-exploitation phase, we had used SNMP Set to change a community string value. And this is something we would like to do here as well using Metasploit. So before that, we need to first create a read-write community string which we can actually use. So let's go into Vyatta and go into configuration mode and type in set service SNMP community. Let's call this A1D3 authorization read write. Let's commit and let's save. So let's go back in here. Now we have our Vyatta instance basically supporting an SNMP read write option, which again we could have brute forced, or maybe they ended up using default values. Now let's actually go ahead and use the SNMP Set module. Show options. Change the community string to A1D3, which is the write string, and the OID value. So if you kind of remember when we had done the whole SNMP walk in the previous case, so let me kind of go back to the slides from the previous video, right? We had found out all these little interesting values in here like ISO 36121150, and that was Vyatta, which we had finally changed to hacked. So I'm going to use the same one, ISO 3612. So set OID to ISO 3612. .1150 and set OID value, let's say to demo, and let's run this, and we've gotten our hosts 192.168.1.101. Let's run this, and you actually see a big argument error in here. Now the problem is Metasploit does not go ahead and accept the OID value in the ISO format. So what we need to do is go ahead and change this to a format it understands using SNMP translate. So let me copy this out. Paste it in here. And this has been translated. Copy it out. Go back to Metasploit. Set the OID value to this. Clear the screen. Hit run again. And if you notice, now it worked. It's basically set it to Vyatta. It was Vyatta initially. Set it to demo, and then it rechecked if the new value is demo, right? So let's set it back to Vyatta. Run this again, and there we go. It's reset back to Vyatta. So this is how, using Metasploit, you can also set configuration values, etc. using SNMP once you have uncovered the read-write string, community string, right? So SNMP translate, all of these are also there in your slides. SNMP set, something we've looked at, right? So that's all I have in mind for this video. Hopefully you've enjoyed what you're learning here at Pentester Academy. And if you have, I would really appreciate if you can recommend us to your friends and colleagues. That's all for this video. Thank you.